Have you ever settled into your airplane seat, looked out the window and wondered just how safe the magnificent machine carrying you truly is? We trust that every bolt is tightened, every panel is perfect, and every system is checked. But what if that trust was shaken? What if behind the sleek exterior of one of the world's most advanced airliners, there were hidden problems? Tonight, we take you inside a story that affects millions of travelers. It's a story about the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and the shocking discoveries found deep within its frame. The journey begins not in the air, but on the factory floor. Insiders, people who helped build these jets, have come forward with concerns. They paint a picture of a rush to produce, of quality checks being overlooked, and of a culture that sometimes prioritizes speed over safety. These are serious claims, and they have triggered investigations, grounded planes, and sparked a debate across the entire aviation industry. What exactly did they find? And should you be worried? This is a story with many layers, but at its core, it's about a simple promise, the promise of a safe flight. The journey begins now. To understand the concerns, you first have to understand the plane itself. The Boeing 787, known as the Dreamliner, was not just another aircraft, it was a revolution. Its most remarkable feature was its carbon fiber composite body, making it lighter and more fuel-efficient than older planes. This leap in technology meant airlines could save money and reduce their environmental impact. Passengers enjoyed bigger windows, smoother rides, and a more comfortable cabin environment. The Dreamliner was a massive investment for Boeing, with global suppliers building large sections that were assembled in the US. This new production model was supposed to be faster and more efficient. For a while, the dream seemed real. Airlines loved it, passengers praised it, and pilots admired its advanced systems. But behind the scenes, a different story was beginning to unfold. Production pressures and quality control lapses started to cast a shadow over the Dreamliner's celebrated debut. The promise was bright, but trouble was quietly brewing in the places no passenger would ever see. The 787 became a common sight at airports worldwide, but its success story was about to be tested. The importance of the 787 to Boeing cannot be overstated. Its success was crucial for the company's future, and for a while the dream seemed to be a reality, but the cracks were starting to show. The first signs of trouble emerged from the very thing that made the Dreamliner special, its carbon fiber structure. Unlike metal, carbon fiber composites are more complex and can hide tiny imperfections. Whistleblowers and audits revealed that some fuselage sections weren't joined correctly. The issue centered on shimming, tiny pieces used to fill gaps between parts. Sometimes the gaps were too large or the shims were installed improperly. This created stress points that could lead to premature aging of the airframe. Another discovery: the surfaces where fuselage sections joined weren't always smooth, creating tiny pockets that could weaken the structure. These problems weren't isolated. They were found on hundreds of planes. Boeing had to halt deliveries, creating a massive backlog. The FAA stepped in, increasing oversight. The dream of efficient assembly was turning into a logistical nightmare. The cracks were not just in the carbon fiber, but in the production system itself. The question: was the revolutionary material being assembled with the precision it required? Let's dig deeper into these gaps. On the 787, large fuselage sections are joined with extreme precision, measured in thousandths of an inch. Some sections didn't meet these standards. The gaps were too wide. Why does this matter? The fuselage is like a soda can under pressure at altitude. Improper gaps concentrate stress, leading to faster material fatigue. Contamination was another issue. Tools and debris were sometimes left inside the structure. In one case, a ladder was found sealed inside a plane's tail. Any foreign object can be a hazard, potentially jamming controls or damaging wiring. These failures pointed to a workplace where speed sometimes trumped meticulous process. Problems were found in other parts too, like the tail fins and stabilizer. The issues were systemic, not the fault of a single worker or factory. For a plane as advanced as the 787, these were not the kinds of problems anyone expected. The perfect fit and finish promised by the Dreamliner was, in reality, sometimes far from perfect. The discoveries showed a breakdown in basic manufacturing discipline. The Dreamliner's promise was being undermined by its own production process. As these flaws came to light, a more troubling picture emerged. It wasn't just about gaps and shims, it was about the culture inside the factory. Whistleblowers described a high-pressure environment where meeting quotas sometimes meant cutting corners. Some workers felt pressured to approve work that wasn't up to standard. One veteran engineer even said he wouldn't fly on the 787. The traditional safety-first culture had eroded, replaced by a focus on speed. The FAA responded by taking over final inspections, signaling a loss of trust in Boeing's self-policing. The problems were now seen as symptoms of a deeper cultural issue within Boeing. The question was no longer just about fixing planes, but about fixing the company itself. The concerns were growing, and they were starting to be heard far beyond the factory walls. The culture of safety was under scrutiny as never before. How did the people who fly and operate these planes react? Pilots, trained to trust their aircraft, were unsettled by news of structural flaws. Pilot unions called for more transparency from Boeing. Airlines faced grounded planes, delivery delays, and financial hits. Some had to cancel thousands of flights as new Dreamliners awaited inspection. Publicly, airlines expressed confidence, but privately, frustration grew. Compared to Airbus's A350, which uses similar materials but hasn't faced such issues, Boeing's troubles stood out. The problems pointed to Boeing's manufacturing processes, not the technology itself. Passengers began to question the safety of the Dreamliner, fueling uncertainty. The dream of a perfect flight was now shadowed by doubts about what lay beneath the surface. Under intense scrutiny, Boeing had to act. Leaders insisted safety was their top priority and acknowledged the production problems. Boeing launched a massive inspection and repair program using advanced ultrasound to scan for hidden defects. If a problem was found, it had to be fixed. An expensive, time-consuming process. The company improved production processes, enhanced quality control, and increased workforce training. Boeing created a new Chief Aerospace Safety Officer position and restructured engineering teams for more oversight. These moves aimed to rebuild trust with regulators, employees, and the public. The road to recovery was long and costly, with delivery halts and billions lost. The FAA closely monitored Boeing's changes before allowing deliveries to resume. The response was massive, but many believe the crisis should never have happened. Boeing's reputation and future now depended on restoring confidence. The company's every move was under the microscope. So, what's the lesson for you, the passenger? The 787's issues show a breakdown in manufacturing quality, but other safety layers exist: testing, maintenance, and regulatory oversight. The fact these problems were caught and addressed shows the system, while imperfect, can work. The FAA and experts say Dreamliners in service are safe to fly. The issues are about long-term durability, not immediate risk. Airlines must follow strict maintenance and safety directives. This story highlights the need for transparency and accountability in aviation. Whistleblowers and public scrutiny play a crucial role in keeping companies honest. As a traveler, stay informed and aware. Flying remains one of the safest ways to travel. The Dreamliner story is a lesson in vigilance and the importance of never compromising on quality. Your trust is earned, flight after flight. The story of the 787 is more than technical flaws and delays. It's a journey into the heart of a modern marvel. We see the finished product soaring, but not the immense pressures and countless steps behind its creation. The discoveries inside the Dreamliner have revealed the challenges from blueprint to runway. The industry has learned the dangers of prioritizing speed and cost over quality and safety. Rebuilding trust requires fixing technical problems and restoring a culture of transparency. For travelers, safety is a continuous journey, not a destination. The vigilance of engineers, whistleblowers, and regulators is essential. The 787's troubles have tested trust, but the work to restore it continues. Every flight is a silent promise, a commitment to safety that must never be broken.